Hi guys, how are you? Hopefully you're gonna be fine. As you can see that today we're gonna replace the wheel hub bearing, and this is the 2010 F-150 Lariat, and I will guide you all the steps. So first, as you can see that we jack up the truck, but we did not open the screws. So I will put something here, like any kind of like resistance, so that tire is not gonna move. I'm gonna put like here because we're gonna round the nut from here. Okay, so we're gonna open up the tire. You can see that with the, as I put the rock here, it cannot move. Look like we loosen all the nut. If you have the torque ratchet, it's gonna be more good. Okay, we are now going to start the process. So this is the router, all this router, and this is the brake caliper. We have to remove this one. Note, we should remove from this here. There is the bolt there that is holding the caliper itself. So these bolts are only holding this brake part. We have to remove this along with this one. So there is two bolts there that are pretty tight. So we have to gonna open this one full assembly, and then we're gonna hang it here, and then we're gonna remove the router and then the wheel bearing. Basically this part we're gonna need to open. So I was thinking just to move the tire by wheeling up the steering inside the cab, so that this part gonna be upward, like outward, sorry. So that it's gonna be easy to open up the screws from here. So I'm gonna use the steering to make it outward. You guys can see that now it's more accessible. First we need to open up these wires here, all the connection. I think this one is 10 mm, this one is 8 mm, these both screws here. What I do, I put all these screws here so that they don't lost, and then I put some WD-40 here, so that in the meantime when we work here, they get all the rust off from there. So the other one is 8 mm. This one is a little bit tricky to reach, but once it's reached, it's easy to. Okay. Make sure that like no bolts are broken while you're doing it. This is free now from here. Okay. I'm gonna use that because it makes easy to take out the clips. Okay, this clip is out. This is basically ABS wire. The new part comes with this wire. So now you have to open up this wire from here too, because there is a joint here that connects the ABS wire to the system. To use something this hard. Okay, let's remove now. There is a joint here. Not so hard to remove. So you can see that our ABS wires all is removed. One thing you have to notice that you have to remove the vacuum line too. This is this line from here. Not hard to remove, just pull a little bit and it's removed here. Always remove this thing. Okay, we put it here. As you guys can see that all the wires are out of the way now, like these wires now out of the way, so we can easily access this bolt and this bolt here. Basically these two bolts we need to remove to open up this thing. So now we're gonna start to open up. So we're going to open up the screws here. This is the 21 mm socket, and better to use the long ratchet with that. So you have to use a little bit power here because it's hard to remove, because the torque space of these is like almost 130 something. I will tell you later and I will re-torque them. We use the smaller one because it's gonna be more easy. As you can see that this part is not free, so we're gonna open up this one. It's gonna take a little bit effort because the brake is already engaged, not engaged but little bit like tight here. You have to remove like that. Okay, so this part is removed, so we have to hang it here with something. Okay, I usually use this thing to hang there. This one is really heavy. Okay, now it's hang here. See, this part is hanging here. Now here we have free caliper, and now we can access the wheel hub bolts from here, which is 4 bolts, this one, and 2 other sides. So we're gonna open up wheel hub bolts. So now we're gonna open up these wheel hub bolts. So the socket that we're gonna use is 18 mm. Using the 18 mm socket and open up these bolts. These bolts are also tighter. I think the torque specs is 129, so take a little bit effort to open. But if you have like long bar like that, it's gonna be easy, really easy, because then you have like more force to open up. See how it's opening up. Otherwise, if you have small ratchet, it's gonna be really hard to open. These are the long bolts. See, these steps looks like a little bit difficult, but in reality they are not. These here. So while we are working, they're gonna be rust free. Not totally rust free, but almost. As you guys can see that this side is tighter now here. Cannot go from here, while other side was like a little bit loose. Like the wheel was turning this way. Now we have to go inside the truck and turn the wheel this way. So that is gonna turn like that, so we can reach the wheel hub's other bolts. You can see that is turned now, so we can easily access the bolt from here. You can also make this part free by opening up this one, but it's a little bit like tricky, not tricky, but like a little bit difficult, more things to work. So it's better just like go inside the truck and turn the wheel. So we are going to open up the other 2 bolts. Process is same. You guys wondering like which way we have to open that, because usually if you see that this way the bolts are tightened, but the thing is that these bolts are always open anti-clockwise, no matter it's like in front of you, at the back of you. You just need to see the direction. If any bolts is in front of you, you have to, this way that we are doing, this way is like tighten. But if the bolts are the back of this thing, like here, these are like opposite of the front bolt, so you have to loosen like that, like it's look like we are doing clockwise, but the other side of bolts is loosen clockwise, not anti-clockwise. Front bolt loosen anti-clockwise, bolts that are behind are loosen clockwise. Just remember this. We also like don't remember before, but I always wondering how these bolts, like especially back bolts, are open. But then my father told me this formula. Okay, here that over wheel hubs, bolts, brakes bolts are open, so now we have to little bit like turn the wheel so that it becomes straight, and then we just need to open up the rotor. Now we are going to open the router. Sometimes it's like tricky because it's like rusted from here and it's stuck here, so it's better to like hit with the hammer here, not here. Hit the hammer here so that it's loose free. But first do a little bit WD-40. Make it rust free. Take a little bit big hammer like that. It's gonna be more easy for us. Hit it here, not here or not here. Just here. Like it's already loose. I think it's not loosen. It looks like loosen displays from the bearing. So another thing, if you see play like that, okay, it means like your bearing hub is not good. You have to replace that. See how play it is. You can move it a little bit like that so that you can hit this part. This job, like wheel hub changing job, only this spot is difficult. Yeah, now slow. See, the router is removed now. This is a pretty heavy part. Now guys, what is in front of us? This thing is the wheel bearing. This is the total part that we have to replace that. See, there is play here. First we need to open up this gap. Use a light hammer and a little bit angle like that. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky, but be patient about that. Okay, just remove. So you have to open up this nut too. This is not a big deal because the torque specs of this nut is like 20 foot-pounds, so you can open up this one easily. better to open up node with this thing, because when you use like that, this one all thing moves. So better to use the torque, electric torque wrench, something like that. Use the 13 mm socket. See, break free now. Okay, now our wheel hub is free, just disengage. Our whole part is removed. So that's the wheel bearing look like. You can see that like it's fine, everything fine, but from inside the mechanics is somewhere there is a problem. That's the old part. Okay, now the next step is we have to clean all these first, and then this part here, all this part need to be like smooth, so we have to sand this part. Remove first grease, put some towels inside, then sand this part. So I am cleaning the part now. Like all the old grease, you have to remove that and then put the fresh grease. Looks like most of the grease, old grease is removed now. Old grease is removed now. Now we have to sand this thing. First we put some towels inside here so that all the rust don't go inside. So do the little bit sanding here. I have these sandpapers. So first do it by hand and then by some machine. This is very important part, because if you don't do that, then your new wheel hub not gonna stick properly. So first by hand, then by machine. Because by hand usually make the surface a little bit balanced. You can see that it's not balanced from here. So this is a sander for basically the wood sanding, but you can use it like for hair too. So you can use like this sandpaper here. You need to align all the holes from here. Okay. And then you can sand that. The workshop people, mechanics, they use different one. I also recommend this one, because this is more easy and is smaller one. This one is really bigger one, but it also does the job. techno smooth. So we clean this little bit with the brake cleaner. Better to try to, after using brake cleaner, you have to wipe that instantly. Otherwise, because brake cleaners, they dry really fast. The benefits of brake cleaner is that if you put like WD-40 here, which is flammable, so this brake cleaner remove its effect. Okay, now we can remove this thing. So now our part looks more cleaner than before. Put it something a little bit, wipe again, because maybe some parts go here when we were cleaning, like the rust part. Now it's clean, more than enough. So the next part is to apply the lubricants, like any kind of grease, like which grease like who can withstand with the heat. So always use the better quality grease here. I will show you like what kind of grease I am using.